Aloha and welcome to the Embodied Healing Self podcast with your host, Jen Mons. Each week, join me for soul-inspired, conscious conversations around embodied healing and awakening to your soul's purpose. Thank you for listening in. Aloha and welcome back to this week's episode of the Embodied Healing Self. So I am super grateful to be in this space with you today as I am recording this on my 42nd birthday, and just wanted to share with you on this special day 42 life lessons that I had to choose from a list of over 100 to share with you today. So thanks for listening in. I'm super excited. So I was born September 9th, 1977 at 11:22 a.m. in Tucson, Arizona. So I got a lot of double numbers in my birthday, which is pretty cool. I'm a Virgo. For those of you that know the Enneagrams, I'm an Enneagram 7, also known as the life enthusiast or adventurist, which if you follow my Instagram, or even more importantly, my husband's, because he's better at sharing it, you'll see that we love to travel and surf and windsurf and sail and snowboard and kind of just do anything outdoorsy and fun. My soul destiny, based on my soul contract, is an 11-2, which is one of a teacher, mentor, or sacred servant for healing, essential goodness, and spiritual truth. And my favorite colors are indigo, blue, turquoise, green, yellow, and coral, but I really love all colors. My favorite foods are juicing. I love juicing. Green tea matcha, cherries, blueberries, lentils. Guilty pleasure would probably be salt and vinegar potato chips in this moment. Used to be dark chocolate, but thinking that's what it is right now. Favorite places that I visited, because I love to adventure, are New Zealand, which I went to on my honeymoon in 2003. Mary Magdalene's Cave, which I visited during our homeschool travel year in 2015. Costa Rica. Tahiti, specifically the island of Moorea, is just absolutely gorgeous. The Exumas. And, of course, last but not least, the island of Kauai, specifically Honolulu Bay, where I got married. That is a little bit about me. The happy things in my life are, number one, my family, healthy food, dance, yoga, surf, windsurf, my new puppy that came into my life a year and a half ago. She's so sweet. I love to travel, and I really love coaching. I feel so honored that I get to do my dream job. It's just amazing. So I'm also celebrating 6 years of being sober. So I haven't had an alcoholic drink in 6 years. Specifically just chose this because of my pregnancy-induced liver failure 13 years ago. That's what I'm celebrating today. And, you know, I'm kind of one of those people who have a pretty young spirit and a wise soul. So I really love my youth. I love to have fun. I actually kind of like my crazy white, gray, wiry hair. For the most part, don't really mind the wrinkles and the sunspots because I kind of feel like I earned them. Like, it's just part of the life process, and really just embracing every, moment when I can. There's a couple of rituals I have on my birthday. One is to swim in the ocean, dip in the ocean. That's more of a mermaid experience after dark. So it's just a cleansing process that I do on my own. The second thing I do is I write a letter to myself. And this is also something I do for my children. I write a letter to them every year on their birthday, and I save them about how far they've come and all that they've learned and how much they've grown over the year. And the third is that I welcome a meditation around my birth and my creation, my birth experience. And I ask for guidance and support to see and experience the moment that I chose to come into this world. And sometimes I see moments before, and sometimes I see moments after, and sometimes I see that moment. But I ask for guidance around my soul to be shown everything that I need in this moment to learn and grow and step into my higher self or my soul signature in that moment. So I'm wondering what your birthday rituals are, and I'd love to hear more from you on that too. So, 42 life lessons that I want to share with you today. First one is love wins every time. Every time. An unconditional love for ourselves allows us to love unconditionally others. Pure love. And it is just the most amazing, highest vibration, emotion, and energy that can be felt on the planet. Number 2, everything is energy. Our thoughts, our emotions, the food we eat, our body, the connection we have with others. Money is energy, the cycle of nature, the earth, the universe, everything is energy. And I really, really love everything energy. Energy medicine, energy healing, eating for energy, energetic boundaries. Number 3, our kids are our greatest teachers. And so I know those of you listening that are parents, or even if you're not parents, maybe your kids are your pets. Maybe your kids are your nieces and nephews. Maybe you're a teacher. Maybe you're a coach. But I really do believe that children come in to this world with the soul that is more evolved in some ways because of the frequency that they're coming in at, the timing that they're coming into the planet, the world that they step into when they're born, because they come from unconditional love, because they don't have baggage, because they don't have preconceived thoughts or fears or blocks. They just see the truth and they share it with us. And I think this is one of the most humbling things about being a parent, is really getting out of our own way and projecting what we think they should be onto them, and instead just allowing ourselves the gift of just listening and appreciating all of who they are. And it's not easy, but it's a wonderful gift for us as parents. Our children help us to evolve and grow and connect back to our truth. I really do believe this. Number 4, life lesson. Meditation is just presence. It doesn't have to look a certain way. There are many people who have this belief that meditation has to be stillness and just quiet or controlling thoughts even, which it's more really just allowing thoughts. It's just observing and witnessing and just being in the present moment. It can be a walk on the beach. It can be walking your dog. It can even be just being present with your children. It can be being present with the food that you eat as it nourishes you. Just being present with the breath. For me, meditation comes in many forms. It is really just the gift of being present. Number 5, energy management is the new time management. So as I've been working with my clients over the years, I discovered that many of us are overwhelmed and exhausted and have low energy. There's a belief sometimes that there's not enough time to nourish or take care of ourselves. And I challenge this belief with the idea that we all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's just how we choose to prioritize it that allows it to look differently. So this means that we are the ones that are really deciding on how to use our time. So energy management is really the intention of using our time wisely for things that are important to us and that are in alignment with our truth. And this is really going beyond time management or even choice management, and just being intentional about making choices in our life that are here to serve our highest intention, which then serves everyone around us. And so questions I often ask myself are, is this necessary right now? Am I the one that has to do this? And is this in alignment with me? So really just learning to slow down, let go of the busyness. Busyness is like an indicator that we are out of alignment. Just being super clear about how we spend our time, because really it goes by pretty quickly. Number 6, our soul is reincarnated many times throughout many lives. Yes, this is my belief. I completely believe in soul reincarnation and have had many of my own past life experiences, which have just been just absolutely amazing and so real that they felt out of body. What was so interesting to me is I never really knew what I believed. But again, going back to number 3, our kids are our greatest teachers, where I can't deny that, and I've written all of this down because sometimes the synchronicities are just so unbelievably accurate that I get so humbled by it. What I notice in some of my past life regressions is that I often notice a person that is in my current life. And so I know this when I look at their face, and then their face begins to change to their face in this current life. So I've had one with both my daughters and my husband. And the cool thing is I did these a couple of years ago. When the reason that I know this is true is because when I decided to participate in a past life regression, and my older daughter showed up, the day that I did it, I didn't tell anybody in my family, and I came home that day, and she was 8 years old at the time. Unexpectedly, out of the blue, she just wrote me this note, just said, "Mom, you are the greatest love in my life. For as long as I can remember, you always have been." And it was kind of like not something an 8-year-old would say, and it was just completely a synchronicity that had happened on that day, and it's the only time she's ever said that to me. And then the second past life regression where my second daughter showed up, I think she was about 7. I laid in bed with her that night. The only time we've ever had this conversation, before she went to bed, she said, "Mom, what do you think happens after we die?" And I'm like, "Well, what do you think?" She's like, "Well, do we get to come back as a dolphin or, an animal?" Or she's, we had that kind of conversation. She was 7, right? And I'm like, "Well, I don't know." She's like, "Have we been together before?" I'm like, "What do you think?" She's like, "I think we have." This is a 7-year-old, only that night. And I went and I journaled it. I'm keeping all of this for the book that I'm writing about conscious parenting, channeling seeds of evolution. So yes, that is my belief. Went off on a little bit of a tangent on that, but thank you for allowing me to share. So my 7th life lesson is the belief that I have learned over the years is that there are many ascended masters. And so I believe in God. Some of you might call that the divine source, universe, soul consciousness, or divine love, whatever your word is. I call it God. That's what it is for me. I was raised in the Catholic religion and, at some point in time learned my own path of just discerning what my particular beliefs are. And I know that Jesus is my ascended master. So that is my truth. When I was questioning it maybe 5 years ago, after my second health crisis, just really wondering, he would just come to me in visions and dreams. And the one vision that I had that just completely grounded it for me was in 2014 when I had a really bad day and I went to the beach I had 2 flat tires. I burned myself. Like, it was just like all these things were happening. I think it was September 15th, 2014. Went to the beach that night to meditate, tried to take myself to my happy place in Honolulu, and I just kept going to the emergency room when my first daughter was born, which was a life-threatening experience for me. And I was not choosing this. I didn't want to be there. And I finally, after about 4 times, just surrendered to this vision. And the vision that I saw was just a vision of Jesus standing at the foot of my operating table. And he just said to me, "You don't have to worry anymore. I've got her," when he was talking about my daughter. So again, these are things that happen in our subconscious mind that we don't consciously choose. Sometimes we even resist these things. And these moments can be profound teaching moments for us when we surrender to their truth. So number 8, Mary Magdalene, who is Jesus's wife, represents the universal divine feminine energy rising in our unity consciousness. What I believe and what I know to be true for me, and this all sort of came about after visiting her cave, which again was not on my agenda, but thankfully my mother-in-law came with us and had the idea to go to her cave in France in 2015. And again, had another amazing spiritual experience when I was there. I plan to go back. So I since that moment began to learn more about her and where she came from and what, her truth was that wasn't what I was taught as I was raised. Number 8, energy medicine is healing. Energy medicine is very healing. And of course, it has its setbacks as well. But the most effective therapy that I found over the past 10 years, other than doing your own inner work, is biofeedback. It was never wrong. And I have one of my personal mentors here to thank for that experience, Tony Creel. Number 10, so this is one of my favorite. This is one that I've been downloading lately. Divine downloading this information that I'm here to share with you, is that we all have a unique energy signature that creates our soul signature. So think of a signature as a pattern or an imprint, just like your signature. Our life and our health blueprint for our life. So if everything is energy and everything has a frequency, each individual being has its own energetic frequency or imprint. Now, one of the things that I've been doing over the past couple of years is learning how to work with these energy fields that I've been living in and sensing. And this first showed up with me through food and just noticing the energy of food and how it affected me and how healing it was. And then I began to realize that my connections and relationships, my thoughts, my emotions, all of those energetic frequencies were affecting my own energy signature. So October 14th, new this year, I'm super excited to announce my new energy attunement program that is all about discovering your energy signature and creating the highest frequency or vibration of your energetic soul signature, which includes nourishing your body physically. It includes healing trauma. It includes receiving abundance. It includes creating sacred space. It includes energy management. So I'm super excited. More to come on that, so stay tuned on the podcast. Number 11, health is wealth. It gives you your quality of life. That goes without saying. If you know my personal story, you know I live this. Number 12, abundance is about receiving. So many people think abundance is about money, but abundance is really just about receiving all that you are worthy of. It can come in health, wealth, connection, love, money, nourishment, everything you're willing to allow yourself to receive. Number 13, wisdom is more important than knowledge. So as somebody who graduated with 2 degrees, one in engineering, one in nautical science, just overachiever, over perfectionist, really thought that being smart was important. I now know that I'll take wisdom over knowledge any day, but I love the balance of both. Number 14, most of us desire inner peace, joy, contentment, and to be seen and loved unconditionally for who we are. Many of us have that inner longing to be in a space where we can be vulnerable, fall apart, tell people everything about us and still be accepted and loved. I remember that moment when I realized I was going to marry my husband, when I shared with him things that I harshly judged myself for, and his response was, "That's okay. I still love you." And I think most of us are seeking that. I know most of us are. And so this is something I allow people to do in my one-on-one healing day retreats, is hold the space for healing the different layers of ourselves. Number 15, our bodies are resilient and miraculous. So take care of them. Our bodies are so amazing and resilient. I have had 2 health crises, a near-death experience with the first one. Really just that moment of struggling to stay here and wondering if I wanted to. I have also had healing in that process. I've had a shamanic healing experience. I've had a Shakti awakening experience. I've completely surrendered and allowed my body's subconscious cellular memory to show me the experience that I couldn't remember because I was heavily medicated for 5 days around that experience. Our bodies are miracles. They're resilient and they are strong. So whatever illness or disease or whatever we're dealing with, if we have the support and the tools and the guidance, we can overcome it. I do believe that. Number 16, our bodies are the vessel. The body is the container that holds our essence, which is our soul and our truth. I am so passionate about this. It's why we take care of the body. It's why we nourish the body. It holds our transformation. It holds our life experiences. It holds our destiny. It holds our love. So self-care and cherishing and nourishing our body is the container for our soul, for our experience. And so this is why it is the foundation for attracting that higher frequency or life that we want to live. And it is part of the process. Number 19, releasing attachments and expectations is healing because they cause suffering. What we can do in these moments is do our best and then let it go. Parenting taught me this. I know all of you parents out there can relate to this one, but it also goes with ourselves. Many of us want to be so results focused and oriented because we want to have something tangible. We want to have attachments that keep us safe. We want to have expectations or something to work towards. And really, most of our expectations are limiting. Whatever we seek so firmly can sometimes be limiting. Most of the times we are capable of far more than our expectations are allowing us. Number 20, people can only meet you where they are. So in every experience that we have in our life, it helps when we let go of the need to be understood. When we let go of our expectations of other people in a way that we wish they would show up. And we let go of our judgments because we don't really know their life experience. We don't know what trauma they've had. We don't know what they're dealing with right now. And so every relationship, whether it's your parents, your children, your spouse, your coworker, or just another person in your community, just remember that whatever interaction you have with them, if they project something outwardly onto you, it is from their own experience. And we are all in a different place, and we are always where we need to be. It doesn't make us less or more than anyone else. We just are where we are on our own journey in life. So just remember that people can only meet you where they are, and you can only meet people where you are. So this means that you will receive information, help, love when you're ready in your own life. Number 21, everything is possible. I used to say anything is possible, and now I say everything is possible because we are the miracle of life. We are the miracle of life. Just being here, our existence is a miracle. when my daughter came into the world as the biggest baby in the NICU, in the highest level of NICU in Phoenix, Arizona. Babies were flown in from other states, and she was the biggest at 3 pounds, 4 ounces. And all the babies around her were a pound, some of them born at 24 weeks. I realized how truly miraculous we are. Number 22, gratitude and celebration of ourselves are an important part of our well-being, and we don't do it enough. We do not celebrate ourselves enough. Maybe it's because we have a fear that others will shut us down, and it might happen, but again, they're coming from their experience. So I invite you to remember and practice gratitude and remember to celebrate yourself. And gratitude journaling helps with both of those. So maybe you consider nightly gratitude journaling. Number 23, every obstacle in our life is an opportunity for personal and spiritual growth. And I really believe that God only gives you what you can handle. So when we lean into these obstacles and these challenges, when we experience grief or loss, when we have challenges parenting our children or in relationships with other people, I know sometimes that it feels out of control and maybe we can't handle it. I've been there. I have been there with a dark cloud over me. So whatever your experience is, just know and trust that we have a choice in that experience and that you can get through it. And even if it feels like you're being punished, as I remember feeling victim to that, like, why is everything so difficult? Why me? That we are resilient. All we have to do is ask for support and allow ourselves to receive the support that actually is already there from God, from our loved ones, from the community. Number 24, vulnerability is the gateway to our potential, and we are limitless beings. The courage and willingness to be vulnerable and go deep into your own healing experience, I know in my life, is what opened and expanded my energy, my frequency, my healing, my ability to receive abundance, my connection, my relationships. It's the gateway to everything. That very thing that you are afraid of is what is holding you back. And as soon as you lean into it and harness the power of it, the power, that fear that's keeping you stuck, you just harness that energy into something as a catalyst for your change, for your transformation. Your life will just unfold in miraculous ways. And that is something that I do. I hold the space for that healing. So if you are ready to do that, just go to my website, book that 30-minute complimentary call. I am so passionate about this. The experiences that I have had, I have been willing to be afraid of dying again, over and over again. And when I finally completely surrendered, I removed that block that opened up my empathic, intuitive, energetic healing gifts that were always there just waiting for me. I was just afraid. I was afraid of dying again. And that's where all my gifts were. And so learning to fine-tune it, became the next step. So I really just invite you to lean into that vulnerability. Number 25, the inner work creates the outer world. I did a podcast on this, Karen Haysbert. I love this. We are the authors of our own life story, and you can rewrite yours at any time. The choice is yours. It helps to have guidance and support, a mentor. I've had a mentor for the past couple of years change my life, which is actually number 27, but having a coach or mentor is life-changing. So 26 was disease and illness are way more complex than our physical bodies. We are light energy bodies and a physical being in a physical form. We have emotional energy, mental energy, light energy that all affects our energy signature. So disease and illness, there are many, many, many layers to heal in this. Number 28, being an overachiever, a multitasker, and a perfectionist is so overrated. I am a recovering overachiever, perfectionist, high performer. Do less and be more. That is the way of the future. Do less and be more. Energy management, live in alignment. Again, coming in October, if you're looking for more of this in your life. Let's connect. Number 29, animals and the earth are some of the best healers. Some of the best. The mountains, the water, the trees, our pets. Wonderful gifts. So spend time in nature. Spend time with your pets. Spend time with animals. Number 30, alignment over hustle every time. I know that there are women out there that want to hustle and prove themselves, and I've been there and done that. And I am telling you, there is a better way. I believe, from what I've learned, that was part of my learning experience 13 years ago. I was, working 60, 70 hours a week as an operations engineer in the corporate world and not honoring my body. I was totally out of alignment. Pregnancy ended 2 months early, near-death experience, liver failure in the hospital, out of work for a year, had to get my health and my life back and take care of my baby. I choose alignment every time. Energy management is all about alignment. Let go of the hustle. Hustle is out of alignment. When you're in alignment, you still do work, but they are from inspired action steps. It is intentional, and you don't get exhausted. So alignment is the new hustle. Number 31, connection and intimacy are so important for our well-being. It is just as important as eating healthy and drinking water. It is so important. It is that exchange of energy that we need to grow and thrive. I remember when my daughter was born as a preemie at 3 pounds in an incubator, kangaroo care, they call it, just that connection to help them grow, just to help them physically gain weight. They needed to place her on my chest, on my heart. And so even when I couldn't do it the first couple days, the nurses would still do it just to give her connection so that she would thrive and grow. We need that as adults. All of us need it. 32, this one's been coming to me so much over the past year. Relax into the truth of who you are. Relax into the truth of who you are. Allow and receive that truth to come forward. Number 33, our only purpose in this life is to embrace who we are. We can choose to live in the highest and most authentic self-expression of our soul by being, not doing. That is your only purpose. But whatever we are identifying ourselves as, even in the identity, the role as a mother, a coach, a healer even, none of that is who we are. We are just who we are, and that's all we're here to do. Number 34, that self-discovery. Self-discovery is a timeless and limitless gift, and it's the best one you'll ever give yourself. Discovering your purpose, stepping into that energetic alignment is so healing and so empowering. Number 35, learning what foods fuel you and which do not is life-changing. It's part of that foundation. Healing the physical body is the foundation for that vessel that holds our soul. Now, I have discovered for me, no matter how hard I try, gluten, red meat, corn, sugar, and alcohol don't work for me. They just don't. I used to be a breaditarian. I thought I was a vegetarian in college. My husband's like, no, you're a breaditarian. All you eat is bread. And now I no longer do. And it just doesn't work for me. It might be fine for you, but for me, learning about what foods fuel me, give me energy was life-changing because it changes your energetic vibration. It changes your frequency. And for me personally, being a raw vegan, vibration frequency way too high. I need more grounding foods. I need my root vegetables cooked. Everybody's different. Depends on your energetic constitution, your Ayurvedic constitution. Number 36, creating healthy boundaries is an act of self-care. Saying no when something is out of alignment is so empowering. Just say no. If it's out of alignment, just say no. I shared a podcast on healing core wounds around rejection and essential goodness, and that was exactly what I learned. I chose to show up in a space that wasn't in alignment, and it was a teaching moment for me that was uncomfortable, but also very healing. Number 37, intuition is the next mindfulness, and it's your superpower. Learn to trust it. It's a part of you. If you want to know more, schedule a session. I have some super exciting stuff coming your way around intuitive life coach training. So stay tuned for that. Number 38, we have all endured some type of trauma that created a belief pattern, which our soul is here to learn and overcome and evolve into. So when we choose to do the inner work around that, we expand our consciousness. When we don't do the inner work, the pattern just keeps repeating. The most 4 common beliefs or fears that I see that show up in the clients I work with, and this all came to me through health coaching. I would notice like women would have the resources to create change in their life, but they still wouldn't do it. They would have the time, the money, they had healthy food in their house. There was a deeper layer that needed to be healed. The most common limiting beliefs that I see, and there might be more, are that the subconscious belief, so this isn't a belief that we choose, it's underneath the surface, and most of us don't know it's there until we lean in and do the inner work. And when we do, we break that pattern, and it gives you freedom, and it helps you to feel empowered. But the 4 most common I see are I'm not good enough, or I'm only good when I make good money, I'm only good when I marry that guy, or when my kids excel at a sport or get straight A's, or when I'm pretty, or whatever it is. We put an expectation on our essential goodness. No, you are an essentially good person. Your essential goodness is the core of who you are. Number 2 is that we are not lovable, or I'm only lovable when I help others, or when I look a certain way, when I have this type of job. Number 3 is I'm not safe, or I'm only safe when, or the need for safety and security, the need to trust. I gotta have, I want to know that if I do this alternative method for healing, I have to know it's going to work. It's hard for us to trust. It's hard for us to trust in ourselves and other people because we have a need to be safe, which is a fear and a block because it keeps us from the courage to try other things that can help us. It's one I let go of 10 years ago when nothing else worked for me. I had to let go of all of my feeling safe in the box because the box worked. It kept me safe. It saved my life. And then at some point in time, it no longer served me. At some point in time, I started had to invest in nutrition and energy healing and alternative health. And that was the path for me. And number 4, the belief that we are hopeless. We believe that just because, we have a certain genetics, or we were given a certain life, or we have a certain job that we don't like, or whatever, nobody can help us. It just is the way that it is. And that is not true. It's a belief. Number 39, our fear and our ego keep us small. When love is the highest vibration frequency, fear is the lowest. It's like the bowl that holds all the negative emotions. Fear causes hate. Fear causes violence. Fear causes anger. Our deepest fear, that poem by Marianne Williamson is my favorite, is actually that we are more powerful beyond measure, that we deserve light, that we are light beings, that we are children of God. Our deepest fear actually underneath the surface is in our essential goodness, that we are worthy of all the amazing things in life. Because what might happen? What might happen if we step into that version of ourselves? And I'm here to ask you exactly that. What if you do step into that version of yourself? What if you don't fail? What if we are limitless? What if we have infinite potential? That version of you is just waiting for you with open arms. Number 40, we are all children of God. I believe this. Whatever that word is for you, that's what I call it. We are all part of a larger integrated network of energy, and everything does matter. Everything matters. And so for some of you, maybe the word God triggers you, but I invite you to consider, if you appreciate anything in this world, if you appreciate anything, that is God. Noticing the birds, the ocean, if you love to ride your bike, all of it was created. All that is created, creation, the energy of creation, of the unconditional love is God. Number 41, angels are real. I believe in them. I know them. So, I wonder if unicorns, dragons, and aliens are too. Number 42, most importantly, you and I are lovable, loving, and loved unconditionally simply because we exist. That's all we have to do. There is no earning of love. There is nothing that we have to do or be to earn unconditional love. We are all worthy of it. We are worthy of being lovable, of loving unconditionally, and being loved. So I want to hear from you. Which one was your favorite? Which one resonated with you? Send me a message, jen@jenmons.com, or on Facebook or Instagram, jen.mons. Let me know which one of these really resonated for you. I'd just love to know where people are at in their life. And of course, if you're looking for any support, these life lessons are ones that I have learned through my coaching process of other clients. There are 2 different ways to work with me. I do have some home study courses online that you can find out just as an introductory into healing and your well-being. I have a group program launching October 14th this year, the Energy Attunement and Alignment, which I'm super excited about. Been working on it for quite some time now, and it's going to launch for the first time this October. The registration will open on that September 30th, so stay tuned for more information on that. And then, of course, private coaching. I have a mentorship program that's an 8-month program where we dive super deep into your healing around all of these areas. We will just sort of peel the layers back on everything and rebuild your energy signature, your blueprint for the lifestyle and the health and well-being and the connection and everything you want. And this is really where miracles happen. This is where the love of your life might walk into your life, or you might find the home of your dreams, things you never even expected, a job change, whatever, clearing the space and receiving what you're worthy of. It goes so far beyond whatever you come into it with, because those expectations are limiting. I have 2 openings for that in October. So if any of this resonates with you, check out my website, jenmons.com. And if you're ready to heal and expand and really step into that highest expression of your soul and do the healing, I'm here for you. All you have to do is say yes. Have a wonderful day. Aloha. Hello, friends, and thank you so much for joining me today and being a part of this community. I know there are many other podcasts that you could be tuning into, and I am deeply honored that you chose to listen in and be present with me today. I love and cherish and appreciate you, and I want to invite you to join our tribe and Facebook group under jenmons.com/connect. I would also love to gift you your guide to discovering and overcoming the self-limiting beliefs standing in the way of you living in optimal health, more energy, fulfillment, and self-confidence to create an embodied, healthy, whole you. You can find this at jenmons.com/tribe. I also have one small request to help spread the love. In order for this podcast to show up in the feed of social media platforms of other like-minded people, we need reviews. So please head on over to jenmons.com/podcast to leave a review. You will also find other inspiring episodes on that page. So I personally read these reviews weekly and would love to give you a shout out and share your kind words with our listeners. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook as Jen Mons or The Holistic Coach with the W, Holistic, and Jen Mons, JenMons.com. Thank you so much and have an amazing day. Aloha.